Hey everybody, how's it going? Good afternoon, good evening. Hey Marlena, Rhonda, half full. Chloe, Rhonda, Deb, Marlene's the wiener today. You're the number one on like, the wiener, the like wiener. You're the like wiener. Oh gosh, so I figured we haven't talked about, I haven't been on here for a little bit, and I was listening to some videos. Well, at least I haven't been on here for a little bit, like about summer at least. And it just gets so frustrating wondering, if they're even doing anything. But we're going to watch some videos that first we're going to do this. Somebody's other music. Hey, Shannon. We'll check out this video from Nature Lover. There's like different clips in here. Most people lie occasionally, but there are different types of liars with different motivations. Pathological liars lie frequently for no apparent reason, often more than 5 times a day. They may lie about many things, even seemingly unimportant ones. White liars tell untruths to protect others' feelings. Occasional liars lie sometimes to make themselves look good or to get their needs met. Habitual liars lie because it feels easier or more convenient than telling the truth. And then compulsive liar feels a high when they get away with lying. Wow, I didn't know there's a difference between those really. I figured like habitual, pathological, compulsive, those are all pretty much the same. Hey, Stormy. It has been a minute. I'm glad you stopped by. Hey, wait, what? Kathy. Hope you had a good birthday. So let's see what this is. This is Nick. From the bottom of our heart. Some say the more a person speaks, the more they offer details that might undermine the lie. Effective liars say enough to be believed, but no more. There's some tips. Oh, there's prolific liars lie frequently but do not experience as much distress about lying as pathological liars. So, effective liars say enough to be believed. Prolific liars do not experience as much distress as pathological. So I don't even see where it said. So a pathological liar, that means it stresses them, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. From the bottom of our hearts. Something's like a heart scream.
Trail cam
whatever.
With anything that is going on.
You wouldn't do anything this summer. It's not a golden ticket. You wouldn't do anything this summer. You're a liar. Whatever.
With anything that is going on.
You wouldn't do anything this summer. It's not a golden ticket to the property over there. He's got a golden ticket to the property over there. There were certain times when
It looks like Candace was getting shit off of Andy and other little girls were over there and things.
Candace was getting things off Andy and other little for other little girls.
Massive difference.
Probably not paying a whole lot of attention to what time it is, but what did you do when you seen all that ruckus going on?
Took my car and parked it and started looking.
Did you see Dawn? Did you see Candace?
I think I seen Candace. I think Dawn pulled in pretty much right after me. So, I mean, I just don't remember stuff.
Oh my God, Andy, looks so bad. I think Dawn pulled in right behind me, and I just don't remember fucking anything ever. Especially if it has to do with Summer Wells. Yes, her birthday. Hey, Ginger Snap. Yes, Kathy had a birthday yesterday. Hey, hair curlers and crime. We're getting right into it today. Getting right into the... Who is that on the top right? That's not Tiffany, is it? No, that's not Tiffany. I don't think, anyways. Is that her?
I do not.
She made a mention.
Right? Live.
Andy pulled up.
I don't know what time Andy tell you I wasn't there.
So you weren't there when Andy pulled up?
No.
Later.
You guys saw him later on. Because she says,
Donnie, I didn't.
She says on Ziggy's Live last night, and we covered it today, that he pulled up and talked to you or one of the neighbors right after you had come down the hill. Really? She already said that he pulled up and talked to her. He said he pulled up and talked to her. And I'm assuming that he meant you. Because she was only talking about you the whole time. She hadn't referred to any other hers except for you. So
when I seen Andy and the cops were up here on the property and he come up here and he said that he was looking over as well. But that was like 8 or 9 o'clock that evening. I don't know from before then where he was.
Okay, so let's clarify. Who told you that Summer was missing first?
I seen Candace before I seen Jody Sick.
Oh my gosh. That would be awesome if Dog the Bounty Hunter would come and, be as aggressive as he has with the Sebastian Rogers case and maybe scare some people forward.
Okay, and where did you see Candace?
In the Ben Hill Road.
because what I'm trying to ascertain is that if she talked to the police on the 15th, the day Summer went missing, if she didn't tell you about the scream the first day, would she have told the police about it the first day? Like this is very strange, right? Like
I don't think she talked to the police until the next day, if not the day after.
Okay, but never you heard about the scream. How did you hear about the scream? No, don't let me load you up. How did you hear about the scream?
Okay, a day or 2 days later, Jody Sue come up here with Andy, and she goes, I heard a scream, and that's why I was down below. I went,
I think that's something they came up with together. To me, that sounds, yeah, they figured that up so that Jody Sue could have an excuse of why she was at the end of the driveway when she's never fucking there. I mean, we're talking to get down to the end of the driveway. It's a hike of either one of their driveways. Hey, Trulia. Or Truly. Yeah, I don't know if has Dog ever spoke on the case? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. He never got involved. See, this sounds like she says a day or two after, Andy and Jody Sue came up there and said that they heard a scream, supposedly. And that's why she was at the end of the driveway.
They're looking. She didn't say anything like that.
Like that something that they stood down there for 3 days. Well, on the fourth day, all of a sudden, when he don't leave just the road, he leaves the whole area. He goes and rocks one place and stays there for, what was it? When we finally seen the Summer that night at the gate, and he'd been gone for like 30-some days at that time.
Right after summer, what I
Yeah, fourth day.
Fred,
Okay. So like the fourth day after. So anywhere from 3, he was saying about 21 to 30 days. Andy says he was only gone for 3. Now listen to what he tries to say here. He's never been involved in a missing person case. Oh, really? Her daughter said she heard the kids playing, not a brutal scream.
says he does say that you took like 3 days off. And you and Jody Sue sat down at the bottom of your all's driveway and was just, I guess watching and just, paying attention to the searchers. Probably the same thing I would do. But then Fred says you took up and left and was gone for like 3 weeks. Is there any?
No, wait, hold up. Okay.
Oh God. Oh, wait, hold up. Let me think. You're not gonna remember if you were gone right after the Summer Wells case, Summer Wells went missing. Like, come on. Watch him try to freaking sit here and I don't know. Come on, dude.
And was gone for like 3 weeks. Is there any?
No, wait, hold up. Okay, she got down on June 15th, and he says a few days after that, I was gone for a few weeks and came back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really remember taking and running off about that time. That could have been about the time that I was trying to leave.
Trying to leave, but love you. Okay. Heard anything? And this was at June 15, 2021 at what? 9:44 a.m.?
Okay. Did you go somewhere and stay somewhere else for a while where you wouldn't have been seen in the holler?
Yeah, I mean, I went staying in the holler because that's where she was at. I didn't stay in the holler. I never returned to the holler after I left. When I left, I didn't go back until after like September the 6th when the order of protection was read.
Okay. That wasn't until like July or something, though. The order of protection, right? Or August. He is so full of it. The last day he works at freaking the tire places on the day Summer went missing. And then hangs out at the bottom of the driveway for a few days, watching everything. And then now he remembers he went to work a train ride. Like, how do you not remember such a thing? And who is this lady at the top right? I don't think that looks like.
Do you remember what day it was you left?
No, No, not to be honest, I don't really exactly remember because I left either a few weeks before Summer got gone, or I can't remember if I left after that.
Oh my gosh. Now he's trying to say he can't remember if he left before Summer got gone or after. What the heck, guys? How do you guys not find this freaking suspicious as hell? Oh, that's Piper? Okay. No, that's not Penny. Who's the bottom left? That's gosh, why can't I remember her name? She's in here all the time. Well, not all the time, but sometimes. She used to really not like me in the beginning. We're cool now though. Somebody's gonna, yeah, lean on me.
There's bits, pieces blocked out that I can't explain. I mean, it's.
You guys, this is not what Fred does at fucking all. I don't understand people, how they don't see the deception
I was trying
here.
to leave for a while there, so it's. I mean, I might have been gone. I might not have. You might just not seen.
One point near 6, and I believe on the phone at 6:09, I'm going around the top curve artery to start the descent down. By this point, I'm hearing. Hold on.
At this point, Jody Sue cuts off the video, but what she's about to say is that she hears them yelling for Summer.
I'd gotten down, looked into the tile, didn't see Summer. But I went across back over to the left, which is Candace's property, where the other side of the tile is. And that's if you're going out the road, not in. So, cross over, and I start into a spot that's kind of clear, and head towards the creek. Because I think, well, maybe brothers have left her behind, or she's fallen off the top of the hill, she's gotten hurt, or, the usual things, right?
The usual? Okay.
And we need to find her, if that's the case. Because in my head, I'm like, it's been a while since I've heard this scream, this noise. If she's hurt, she's been here a while. So, I'm wearing sandals. And I know the best thing I can do is get into the water. So I step into the creek. Oh, because from there I can keep tracks down. Because when you live in areas like ours, worst case scenario. You also know what happens if somebody can't be found. And you know that staying in the water keeps scent down for dogs.
Where is she?
Now, just so that we're super clear, at this point, Jody Sue had not spoken with Candace, and she had no knowledge that Summer was missing. So why in the world would she have thought to step into the creek and then go so far as to bring up that it would keep dogs scent off of her? That's not normal thinking when you hear your neighbors yelling for their kid. That is not normal, Jody Sue.
Exactly.
So this is the creek that Jody Sue walked through to keep dogs scent off, apparently. And as you can see, it's just down from the Wells home. And Jody Sue's home is coming up and will be the driveway to the left.
Yeah, look how. So. What are they showing right now? This is nature lover, guys. Here's Simpson Luke.
if they have to be brought in. So, also, it's a good way to check, even though, but with your feet on what's in the bottom and deepest spots.
Make this make sense. She doesn't know Summer is missing, but she's already looking for a body in the bottom of the creek.
And at the same time, I keep an eye on the bank going around Candace's, and to the top of the hill. Before I'd stepped into the creek, I could hear the boys go down the left side of their property towards the creek on that side that I had looked down towards earlier. And there was a point there when
Hey, Mohawk Mom.
I could tell that Candace and the boys had met up when they were hollering for Summer and circling the hill. So anyway, I'm stepping into the creek. I was, I don't know, not too far in. So anyway, as I was looking, went a few feet, in to the water, but 20 feet maybe from the river. I don't know, maybe less than that. I don't know. Wasn't too far in when I hear a car coming down Candace's driveway and her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her. But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out the creek and jump up out of, and then into the roadway, and she's in Grandis's vehicle, and which kind of confused me at first.
She's letting us know right here that she had yet to speak with Candace whatsoever.
Yeah, so fucking weird, dude. You hadn't even spoke to Candace at this time. But that doesn't even make sense. I know, right? Say what? It just makes me so sad. But the only thing I can think of is that maybe there's some kind of reason. Maybe there's a reason in the Sebastian's case. Like maybe they know something that they don't know in Summer's case, or maybe they know something in Summer's case and know that a reward wouldn't help. I don't know. This was before AB became a monster in her story too. Every time she's lying, if you know, she will say, anyway. Delusions of grandeur, wanting to be important, yes. And you could tell that by she always was withholding information. She always wanted to hold on to information. It was always, she wanted to be the one, like she let out information in spurts. You don't do that. She acted like she was doing it at the beginning because for the integrity of the case. Okay, so it worked for a while, like people believing her, but she still does this type of bullshit with everything she puts out. I mean, notice like the shit that she's, the lies that she's put out about Fred of these like fake vans and pictures and like blurring them and stuff to make them look a certain way and saying, oh, there's more. I just blurred this purposely. I'm just withholding more evidence just because I want to feel important. Like no, you're just full of shit. Notice she's saying Grandis and not Candy. Yeah, I thought that was kind of like weird. Is it true that LA canceled Amber? I don't believe so, but I'll look.
Line, Grandis's was ahead of it, so that's why she's in Grandis's. And so anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. But the first thing I said, I mean, guys, I wish I could explain to you. I wish there had been some way for me to take a picture or video that day. Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize the time. It just didn't hit me. But the first thing I said is I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you're telling me somebody's taking my baby girl or something? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right? At a certain point, I'm making my way around. I'm at the main road, but still in the creek. And then I hear, because at this point, Candace is at the bottom of Ben Hill. I can see her as it meets the main road in Beach Creek. So I can hear and see her. And I see Andy kind of pull in. I hear voices. I know it's be him. I know he kind of already knows. But then he starts coming down the main road. And I holler at him. He stops. And I'm like, Summer's missing. And he's like, I know. And I was like, well, I thought that was you, but I just wanted to be sure. And he starts going up and down the main road towards Mount Carmel. Free will, looking for her.
The law.
Oh, free will. Yeah, just So I'm looking at the child alerts. Why are some of them red and some of them yellow? Oh, the amber alerts are red. Yeah, no, Summer Wells still has an amber alert currently. Yeah. It looks like they did find that Rayleigh Capps. What happened with her? Do you guys know? Rayleigh Capps, the one that was 12 missing from Knoxville recently that we talked about on this channel. Here, I'll show her a picture real quick. We'll get right back to this. Maybe this is a girl. She looks so much older and had a tattoo, like a tattoo on her forearm it's like 3 inches big. So says it was resolved, which is good, obviously. I didn't either, Cotton Candy. I really did not. I told everybody. If you go back to the beginning, when she first talked about the scream, I was kind of afraid to, because at that time I cared more about like what people thought. I've really learned how to not care, especially with people online, that you don't know. But yeah, I always said, like at the beginning, I said, that doesn't even make sense. The scream, because I remember, I didn't start my channel till September of 2021, the very beginning. And so that leaves half of June, all of July, and all of August. So 2.5 months. I don't remember it. I do know it was a long time after Summer was gone before the scream ever came out to YouTube. Like, come on. And she's trying to act like she wanted to say, she wanted to. Why are you growling? Am I interrupting your sleep? I'm sorry. Am I being too loud? She said, I'll tell you more later on. Yes, I know. It's like, oh, I'm just going to hold you guys in suspense and then never release anything truthful. Oh, no. It was a real tattoo. Where's Summer? that for that girl. It was real. It was listed on her Amber or her endangered. But what was her name again? Here, I'll play this while looking that up.
Right in behind you. What did you do? You come in and the law comes in shortly after you come in, you find out that your neighbor's little girl's missing. But what did you do when you've seen all that ruckus going on?
Took my car and parked it and started looking.
Dawn is seconds behind that. He's done there. So they both arrived somewhere around 6:30. Andy before Dawn. At this same point, the first two responding cops come in.
Funny.
And you could hear them before they get there. We could hear them before they get there. And I could already see the boys at the backside in the field, towards Simpson and a fence and that sort of thing. And that's eventually where I made my way to and talked to them. But, and then it took a while for the third to respond. So I think it was the third cop I caught that day, coming in, and, he was in an SUV, and I told him about the scream. And I didn't really, Candace says she was driving up and down the roads and the other, but I didn't really see her drive up and down the roads. And I know that she was mostly stopping at other neighbors and things when she did leave Ben Hill that day, and, talking to them for a second, telling them Summer was missing. But I didn't see her drive up and down the main road.
They have, for just side note here, that's not about Summer Wells, but that Rayleigh caps I just had on the screen, she was located the end of August. And it just says they didn't say anything except that she was taken to a hospital for a checkup and that charges are forthcoming and the investigation remains open at this time. So that's probably why they didn't say anything, because there's charges coming. I thought she said she seen Candace backing down the driveway before the police got there. Now, which one is it, Jody Sue? Hey, K-Love. Jody, Sue, and Damien were on WJHL November 11th talking about the alleged scream almost 5 months after. Is that the first time she came out with it? Because I remember when we heard it, I'm like, what the hell? How is this going to come out now? Are you fucking for real? But see, everybody was afraid to call Jody Sue out at the time because, she used that domestic violence card, and people were like feeling sorry for her and they treating her like a victim and stuff because they thought, they didn't want to be wrong about such a thing. And I fell trapped to it for a little bit, but I always knew that scream couldn't have been legitimate. Third cop he caught that day, I thought she was so sick. Her oldest was helping her walk down the hill. She did say something like that, didn't she? They need to change Alyssa Lies to Jody Sue Lies. I don't know which song that is.
Churches or anything. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting. I've never heard you say that before, that you never saw Candace driving around. So when exactly did you hear her start yelling? Because I don't know, it might have escaped me while I was listening.
It was right around 6, and I can give you the text message. It pinpoints an exact time, but it was right around 6.
So right around 6, she started yelling for Summer.
Yeah.
So Don, wait a minute. Okay, so that would give about like 25, 26 minutes or so before she called. What time again did Don get home?
They had to pull in around 6:30.
He got there at 6:30. So 3 minutes.
Around. That's my estimation, because
After a few days, no, she didn't tell them after a few days. I promise you, wise old lady, it was not a few days. It was not a. Does anybody else Now I'm second guessing myself. Wise old lady said it was she told the news within the next few days after Summer went missing that she heard a scream. She was on the news. That was in November. She was only on the news one time. And it was months after. Right, guys? Am I wrong or right? I want to make sure, because now I'm second guessing myself, because they was wrong because it was both ways with the violence. Yep. It was in November. Okay. She said she heard the scream about 4:45. Yeah, I just know that a scream allegedly was unfounded because she's on a recording saying she heard the scream at a certain time. Like, I don't know, maybe it was 4:45, or I thought it was 3 or 3:30 or 4. I don't know. Either way, it was but Summer didn't go missing until like 8. The time didn't make sense. So that's why Fred says he believes the scream was unfounded, because of what she was caught on recording saying. Yeah. November 15th was her news appearance. Yeah, so that was okay. July, August, September, October, November. 5 months later. Just ridiculous, dude. 4:30 to 4:42. She wanted to say that time probably because at that point, Andy would have allegedly been out of the area by that point. So if it happened at 4:30, 4:45, and Andy was seen on the road at like allegedly 3:45-ish. Well, then it couldn't have been Andy because the scream wasn't until way after, an hour later. I don't know. I think everything she said is she changes it up, just like this whole scream had to have been something she came up with to cover her ass in some way or something. The time she was recorded is different than what the time she reported. Thing is, I don't think. Oh, hell no. No, I don't think any of the information they gave the cop that she really. I believe she really went missing around 3:30-ish. The first time Andy, so 3:47 is the time we think Fred thinks he remembers seeing on the picture of Andy on the way out. The picture he saw was Andy on the way out of the hauler. A still shot from one of the cameras, and shown by he thinks he remembers 3:47 on the way out. So it stopped all three of us, Cole. Brown explained. Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there listening still. November 11th, 2021. She asked the news for the news report, not them asking for it. What? Are you serious? She's the one that I like your picture and your makeup. But she was the one to contact the news about that? Right. Maybe not, Carrie. I know, Yova. That's one of my main things. And how he talks about how he couldn't remember if it was before or after Summer went missing that he left for the... What? How do you not remember that? That doesn't even... You know for a fact that for some odd reason, last day you had worked at that tire shop was on the 15th, allegedly. At least for a long period of time. At least for some time. I don't know if he ever went freaking back. But we do know 3 days at the bottom of the driveway, On the third or fourth day, he was gone. I think third day on the 17th. I think it was 17th. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, WJHL. That's been the main news station for this. No, he said there's no way. If there's no way it could be Damien, he said. And law enforcement knows it's Andy. If you want to believe it or not, law enforcement knows that Andy was on the road, and they were talking to him about how he couldn't remember what he was driving, and it just, or if he was on the road, like just the same type of behavior he's doing in that interview. June 18th, Don did his first interview with the oldest son.
I know how long it takes.
I mean, that's why we have each other to figure this all out, because it's hard to keep it straight. I need you guys to help me too, but if you're there experiencing it, you're not gonna, it's gonna be exactly like how Fred, when he answers a question about what happened and recollects things. If you hear Jody Sue or Andy, Don, Candace answer questions, it changes so much, and the pauses, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right.
Andy to get from where he works and where he was at that day last we talked.
6:30, he and Candace, right, called the police.
And it may have been like 6:02, 6:09, because I know it's not like right there at the exact thing, but it was somewhere right there at 6.
Then that would mean he got home before they called the police.
Well, no, because the police come in right at the same time, and there's no way they could have got there.
That doesn't make any sense, Jody Sue. And I'm not questioning you. I'm actually like sitting here listening to you thinking, so I thought it was 6:26. Either way, okay, say the call was at 6:23. If Don, oh my goodness. So let's say Don got home. No, because he said he was on the phone with Candace the whole way home. She believes that Don got home between 6 and 6:10 or 6:30 the latest.
No, he had to get there around 6:30, and he arrived just, I think, a minute or two after Andy did.
So Candace starts yelling for Summer right about 6 o'clock. And then you are saying that you're pretty certain. So Andy got home, and then Don came pretty much almost like very shortly after.
They were both in the roadway at the same place, almost at the exact same time. At the same time, the cops were coming in, the first two. At this point, by the time I talked to Andy in the roadway, right there, and he's still in the car after he talks to Candace, but I made sure that he knew what was going on. One of the first cops was already, I believe, pulled back into Simpson back there. And I had eyes on the boys too. So the cops come in. Right. It all collided right there. Andy, Don, and the first two cops.
Candace started. Andy, Don, the first two cops? You mean Don, Andy, and the first two cops? Or you mean Don, Andy? Better, right? Wasn't it? Or what? Yeah, Don, Andy. Or who was it that came in first, supposedly? Whatever. I can't. They came in supposedly right around the same time. They had to run in with Dobbs about the land on June 14th. Yeah, and to find out that Dobbs' vehicle was at the end of 125 on the 15th is what Fred's sister, not the evil sister, the good sister. I've talked to her about the case, a few times. Anyways, one of the things that I didn't realize is that she had seen Dobbs' vehicle, and it kind of like threw her off because it wasn't. She was like, that wasn't Jackie Dobbs at the back of the vehicle. She passed it, and the hatch was open, or the back was open, and she said the person was. It looked like they were like pushing stuff in, like trying to make something fit into the vehicle. And she said it bugs her, like who that could have freaking been. But it wasn't like a big guy. And she said the person's was kind of built like Fred. And she said at first, like, she thought it was him until she noticed it wasn't. And was like, what the heck? So we know Dobbs is not skinny and tall. Come to find out, Andy Jr., aka Damian, I guess is tall. Fred's 6'4". I guess from what I hear, Damian's tall and thinner than I thought. Hey, Sue. Didn't Andy say recently he was behind on? So Cam contacted WJHL and said that, hey, I believe you about that. That's strange. Judy Sue goes out of her way to do an interview about this freaking scream 5 months later. Odd. Why do you guys think that Jody Sue didn't come out at first? Like that she waited. I wish I knew exactly. The first time that she was going on a channel was with was it Squall? Who was it? Gosh. It was a smaller channel. I think, yeah, Squall.
Starts yelling for Summer at 6 o'clock. She calls the police, or Don calls the police at 6:23 or 6:26. I could have sworn it was 6:26, but it doesn't matter. It does matter, but
she was hanging up with Dawn.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Police wouldn't have even been there till like 7. Because that's right. Police weren't called till like 6:23 or 6:26 or whatever she's saying. That's correct. So how did Andy and Dawn get there at 6:30? How would they have freaking how would the police I thought the police took forever to get there. Were they there that quickly? Wasn't Jody Sue in the creek when Candace? Yeah, supposedly. Financially motivated. I think the motivation may. She was friends with the Wells at first, so she tried. Yeah, I know. And that was odd too. Like, oh, but then to come find out all these horrible things she has to say about them and Andy. All these horrible things. Like, horrible things. Like, oh my gosh. But yet she's going to defend the Wells at the beginning and say they wouldn't do that. No, I wish you guys could have saw Candace and how upset she was. The first W arrived at 7:03. Thank you for that. Officer Littles were not so little. No, he wasn't cleared. Nobody's been cleared. Nobody's been cleared at all. That was Andy calling and asking if his name has come across Pruitt's desk. Pruitt said, "Oh, you don't have anything to worry about. That's come across my. I want to listen to Front Hill." Now that happened. He wasn't cleared. But also, Pruitt's the one who doesn't believe the parents are involved. Allegedly. Thinks a bear got a hold of Summer. And, yeah. Thinks the parents are horrible people and crazy, but didn't have anything to do with the daughter's disappearance. Supposedly Dawn and Andy got there at around 7. Okay. Hey, Jen R. And her littles were not so little. Yeah, come to find out her littles were 14 and 19 at the time. I don't know why I didn't put that at the time. It's probably exactly the same reason some of you guys were confused and thought they were so much younger. But especially the son. I thought he was 16. I thought he was super 16, 17 and just turned 18 a couple years later and went off to the army, or a year later and went off to army. I didn't know that he was already 18, 19 or 19 when Summer went missing. That's weird. Why didn't he go to the army then? Yeah, she's manipulated us in the community while turning around and making it seem like it, pointing fingers at other people about claiming they're the ones that manipulated and are lying. And yeah,
Talked to her. She said she was calling the police, and that's kind of how you know it was super serious.
So she called.
Because I knew with DCS involved and the risk she was taking and losing the other kids and other, that her calling the police, that meant it was super dire. But she said she was hanging out and she was calling the police.
So you knew at that time so you knew you were close enough to Candace to know that CPS was involved. Okay, so you knew CPS was involved, and you knew because did she want to call you? So you know a lot about her. You guys must have been pretty close.
I went over the timeline, and none of that's making sense either because Donald's saying the kid got kidnapped at 6:30.
The kid. I hate how she freaking says that stuff. Said the kid. You mean Summer Wells?
And Candace and them are trying to say 5:30, and then Jody Sue is saying, "Hey, I heard a scream and this at between 4:30 and 4:42."
They said, it's the kids. I was like, no, it's not, because I knew their tones. I knew this not to be any of the boys. Says to Summer, or their watching spots would have blocked off like that. Day one, second one, and they'd never had a chance. But where they saw me moving on the banks and all the flurry of movement and the trespassing and posted signs and the tires going up, they knew something was wrong. Time was running out. And felt like they had a limited window, and I feel like I could have potentially pushed up whatever happened to Summer. And it moved these people's timeline up.
So this one says, why do you think Summer was missing way before 6:30 that day?
Why do I think that? Well, to me, for starters, I know we were looking at 6 o'clock.
Does Jody Sue think Summer definitely made it home that day?
From the lake?
From wherever the hell they spent their day.
Yeah.
What do you suppose?
Not watching her.
What do you suppose would be the reason she would say she was in the creek but actually wasn't?
For her ass, for anything that possibly could happen.
What do you think she would be covering up by saying she was in the creek when she actually wasn't? Do you have an opinion on that?
I have a lot of opinions on that.
Well, I mean, if they're a threat to the investigation, please let's not. We don't have to talk. We don't have to
I
go.
think, personally, I think she got dropped off there and pretended like she's been there the whole time.
Thing I do to help this case, bitch, bro. You serious?
Think she was dropped off and had been there the whole time. Oh, I know. She'd say it and. Yeah, that was a while back, wasn't it, Suzanne? Jody Sue Brown has a magical ability to be in more than one place at the same time. Wow. I wish I could do that. I'd be in Tennessee and Indiana all at once.
Around and search my property, everybody wants to run their goddamn mouth about what my property looks like when I ain't lived there in a couple of years. It was a falling out.
Bitch, I got the real receipts. That property looked far worse than those who hold the Google images from the beginning. Actually, they show them know that you're lying. You and your parents cleaned all kinds of shit up before you let Ryan come up there. Don't lie. I got the real ones. Don't test me.
Oh, we know he did. Even Fred said that it was way worse than that. So that's funny. I know when she, there are times that she'll pick and choose her truth. She'll sprinkle truths in the things that she says, and that's what keeps you confused. And I remember Teresa saying we searched our properties and took care of things before Ellie got there. That would take a while, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll put him the fuck out. Keep lying, motherfucker. Keep lying. Knowing what I know about certain dates, times, shit showing up. Luckily, I left a great deal many pebbles, trails for those who matter and I trust throughout that timeline that Monster is not even aware of. Really doing is putting more of the shit out in the open. What Monster was fully aware of and what tracks back to certain times, certain shifts, certain this and the other. Monster knows. Monster knows something.
Oh, really? Monster knows something. Is she what? How come it's not okay for others to say that? Hey, Kathy Riviera. What are you cooking for summer? Or for summer? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said. What are you cooking for supper? Gosh, what is wrong with me? Why do I do that so much? Actually, somebody was telling me it's part of ADHD, so I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe I don't know. I think more and more I do have ADHD. I get so distracted and move on to something while I'm reading, something else while I'm reading, and that's how that happens. She's defending Andy now? I thought she was saying that he knows something. Well, now she is. Yeah, you mean now. Let's rewind it just a little bit.
Monster is not even aware of. Really doing is putting more of the shit out in the open. What Monster was fully aware of and what tracks back to certain times, certain shifts, certain this and the other. Monster knows. Monster knows something. I know for a fact, and I can prove it. Monster was scared shitless. I also find it weird, certain deliveries.
He was scared shitless. Exactly how he's been acting lately. I mean, not just lately, for a while now. He didn't even come around the community for like at least a year. It seems like. Yeah, Monsters Andy Bernard. And here she is saying that he knows something, but yet that's the same shit I say every freaking day that I do this case. But yeah, I'm a horrible person and I'm a liar. And Andy, why did you say he knows something? But we have other videos of you saying he doesn't know shit and he's not involved. And you know for a fact he's not involved. Here you're saying you know for a fact he is, and you can prove it. That he knows something at least.
Certain major shit popping up right beside a monster's behavior changing, shit being slung out of places, including that BP right beside of being pushed and pulled by a monster of his own, plus certain people showing up and terrifying it, the timing of events and certain changes, and then it does not want to be attached, it does not want this there, but they have to be, right? I'm not a big fan of children, home life responsibilities, this and the other, right? And that's its worst nightmare. Fact. But possibly to keep certain people from, being able to testify. Right? You don't have to testify against one another if you're married, right?
Then started crying for no reason.
I don't know if that's really true, is it? I mean, I've heard that. I don't think that's a thing for Tennessee, right? But so now she's okay. So she's mad. Somewhat will want to say, "Oh, she's mad there, and that's why she's saying that stuff." Because, and it is weird that their relationship falls apart right after Summer went missing and all that too. Hey, Valerie. Okay, let's continue.
Reason about a person that normally don't give a fuck about and is talking shit about. It's like, oh, I feel responsible, and there was like some fake tears. I was like, the fuck? Like, it weirded me the fuck out. And if they felt responsible for their statements and everything, why would you do that? Because that person does their own shit, makes their own shit. That's what I told them. Well, I don't know. I gave them that time, and so I'm like,
what is she talking about?
You know? When Summer did responsible and there was like some fake tears, I was like, the fuck? Like, it weirded me the fuck out. And if they felt responsible for their statements and everything, why would you do that? Because that person does their own shit, makes their own shit. That's what I told them. Well, I don't know. I gave them that time, and so I'm like, you know? When Summer disappeared, that's the reason he got so fucking crazy. Even more things about the past few days. It's probably because when the Fed showed up, especially at work, he'd been lying to me because that day she disappeared and she was running late, right? Working over.
Oh, running late, working over. Is that true?
He'd been lying to me because that day she disappeared and she was running late, right? Working over. Guarantee he wasn't. So he knew tick, 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 time was coming. Cops knew he wasn't, whatever. And he was next door and truth coming. I mean, all kinds of things precipitated this shit, but probably shit for months. And what's weird is, like, he was abusing me that psychotically during the day, but then he was even acting weird for me. Like, at night, for those last few nights, it was we'd hold me. And I told him I'd never really heard.
Those last few nights, Andy was like, will you hold? I remember her saying that. Like, he was so scared because he got himself involved in some type of bullshit. He made a bad decision or he's witnessed something and he was scared. I mean, Mama T, the OG.
Before. Want me to hold him after fucking doing me that way, baby. And weird, like, baby, don't like.
One of the last things he did was our daughter was to scream at her about Summer's dead body in the most gruesome details you could ever imagine, and to continue to yell about it until we were like, stop, because he knew it already traumatized her, so it was a way to bother her. So he knew the triggers, and he knew that it had already traumatized her to the point she was having nightmares and all sorts of, info. And a guy that the last time Equisearch was there, we were all asked not to give their locations. He was screaming at Equisearch to come and kill him and to do whatever and to fuck them and fuck this and whatever.
You said he tormented your daughter in gruesome detail about Summer's dead body. What the hell? What?
Ever seen Summer's dead body? I don't guess it really matters. I had a dream one night that I seen her. That yes, but it was a dream. Who knows?
Last time Equisearch there, he went fuck off and was screaming and yelling at the top as long as telling people in there.
Yeah, why do you think he was screaming at Equisearch, guys? It was Equisearch who found the disturbed land over on Fields Road. By the way, it was Equisearch who's the one that found this disturbed land over on Fields Road. Allegedly. And so that kind of makes sense that he got into an altercation with Equisearch.
Last time Equisearch there, he went fuck off and was screaming and yelling at the top as long as telling people in there. Fuck you, fuck this, blah, blah. Not at me, but at them. It was so goddamn bad shit. But then one last thing he said to my daughter was, football night and they come back that, I think the 24th, before the fireworks, honestly. I had her crying in tears. Just like in a ball because for like fucking 5 minutes, just wouldn't lay off. And it was Summer's dead body's on here and who gives a fuck about it and this and blah, blah, and she's dead. Just the grossest terms you could fucking do. Just upset tiny human because he knew she was traumatized about it already. So it was an extra. That was enough. She'd had enough. She was in fucking tears. Crazy sister to an extreme. I hadn't even seen out there yelling at Equisearch to kill him. Acting crazy on last days if they were there.
The Judy says saying Andy purposely traumatized his child, describing Summer's dead body, writing in detail. What kind of father does that? Well,
also things trying to be brought out and look at all the things just shoot you the fucking weapons in his hands, y'all. Something happens and blood is spilled. Remember, those this in everybody's brains and thinks this is fucking entertaining. And I said that fuck off. Something happens. I make sure to have those images. You should just see your fucking brains. Don't ask why. Don't dare ask why, how. Something happens. One of us has why another child.
All the fucking receipts JSB has kept to protect herself and her children and to show what all of those motherfuckers are.
Good day, night nurse.
Because one day I knew maybe I'd get out, and if not, and I was in a body bag, somebody get their receipts. If I vanished, it's that motherfucker.
See, here she is. She's scared. That's not. Do you think she's actually? This is real? She's worried about, and she did this for a while. Was worried about. Seemed actually terrified that she was gonna end up unalived.
And if not, and I was in a body bag, somebody get their receipts. If I vanished, it's that motherfucker. Like others have. Not just Summer. Much like I begged for eons. Don't be fucking around with 110 either.
Oh, shit.
Or even doing it and just being a normal goddamn human being. Like it had been until it come into contact with dirty fucking constables and dirty fucking bullshit. And then it got triggered. Life changed again, eh? I guess he cares about the grown ups it's bringing to the door. And we can be killed with what he's doing with these people, just like he did with. We can be murdered, but it's okay because it'll have been done by him and others online. Shit, trees rock. It's okay. He'll walk free. There'll be no protection for us.
So.
These are tough questions.
No, I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, I am.
We'll stop. I want you to feel comfortable.
No, I want out, and I want to go home.
Mm-hmm. Andy and Don have both talked about Summer in past tense, done with the resurrection, Andy with a scream. Oh, wow, Jody, think this. Now, how can I get Andy back over here so I can vamp him real good so I win? I just don't get what the back. Oh, I just looked at how long I had been live, 1 hour and 11 minutes. Just happened to notice that. But I'm going to be talking to more people, doing a very interesting interview very soon. I'm still going to do that. Very soon. Has he? I don't know. I haven't been. I mean, I know he's around, always around there for a while he was, but I haven't been around the last week or so until recently. Let's see here. I don't think so. I don't think that she would shut up if she was truly scared. I think that that's part of the reason why she keeps talking and keeps causing all kinds of confusion. I think she keeps talking mainly because she feels safer when she's live online. But, well, I don't know. See, I go back and forth with, I can't freaking make sense of that lady. For all of Andy's memory problems, he sure had no problems remembering everything about that funeral and grave at Morrison Cemetery on Crystal Crime Conversations. My opinion, that grave needs to be checked thoroughly. Not sure if it ever will be allowed to happen. You're the best at keeping all Ben Hill holler crazies in the spotlight. When it comes to Andy, Dawn and Andy were closer with each other than we can ever imagine, holding a lot of dirty secrets. I mean, Andy and Dawn even shared a dream about Summer. Come on, how is it even possible? Dawn has a dream and Baltimore pretty much the same dream. I'm sorry, I'm thinking it wasn't a dream at all. Okay, Jody Sue has been truly throwing tears, some real, some not, when it comes to Andy and little girl's shoes on his floorboard. What is that? I often wonder if Summer's case never got solved because it would have been taken down into a rabbit hole of no good, slimy people, law enforcement, the same one who gave Brandon Lawson, 20 years, suspended 19. Only one kind of judge would do some disgusting shit like that. I love seeing Crime Stoppers out there picking up Summer's case. Millersville Police Department coming down hard. I pray that I'm going to wake up and there's going to be on the news that Hawkins County is right up there with if TBI is pulling out the weeds. I believe my heart, Lawson is right around the corner. So she believes Lawson's gonna. I thought he was gonna his last days in office as sheriff was gonna be this year, but I guess not. I guess he is going for another how many years, guys? I heard Annie Bird say that Judy Sue Brown always wanted to be famous, and I think that's part of what she's up to here. Oh. Yeah, one of the easiest ways to become known is to act crazy. Just do ridiculous things online and it gets attention. It's all our own armpit. Dawn Bean, where's Fred? She's talking too much to drown out all the tickets because that's what's up. It's crickets. It's like the graveyard shift on Monday night at the strip club. Where's Fred? I don't know. I just messaged him to see what he's up to. You think there's a cover? Well, yeah, there is a cover up. There's a lot of people who know, and I'm kind of wondering what this person said. Right here. I wonder if Summer's case has never got solved because it would have been taken down into a rabbit hole of no good, slimy people, including law enforcement. Yeah, well, exactly. Are they afraid what they're going to uncover? And then Tennessee is going to look like they're going to have to freaking completely completely dismantle their whole freaking law enforcement, all their police out in East Tennessee, and well, even maybe TBI. I don't know. So let's see.
That person. I've made mistakes just like everybody else in the world, and I feel bad about everything. So, that being said, I really don't know what I did to deserve all of this, but I'm here and I'm trying to do it. So
I don't know what I did to deserve all of this, but I'm here.
With that, I'd definitely like to ask you a couple of questions.
So how long ago was this? We got Piper. Why can't I remember her name? Again, lean on me.
Yeah, run with it.
Okay. Let's start with how about maybe a couple of days before Summer went missing? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not really. I mean, the tree cutters have been in and out. That Jackie Dobbs dude, he was down there the day before. But other than that, no, not really.
when God asked you if anything was strange, and you said, well, the tree cutters were there and all that.
Does Andy still talk to Piper? Does anybody know?
But people, there's a lot of traffic anyway. Did you mean there's a lot of traffic in that area just on a routine basis? Or did you mean just with all the tree cutters, or?
There's
Thank
always
you so much. Thank you so much to the person who just sent that $5 PayPal. I really, really, really appreciate it. They wanted to be anonymous, so I didn't say who they are, but they know who they are.
in and out there. There's quite a few people that live in there and are in and out. I mean,
I got you.
He doesn't. Piper,
So it wasn't like anything
he's still chatting out
wasn't
longer.
like nothing's to.
Really? Do I have Piper's number? I think I do. I don't know. Maybe not. I thought I did.
Out to you, like there were more.
I know it. Elijah Vu, his remains were found. Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't been following that case, but that's sad, really. According to Jody C. Brown, Andy Burt is on a leash in Colorado that is held by Ginny and Adrian and Piper, but I don't actually know. I wondered if Jody Sue referred to herself as Jody Sue before we gave her that moniker, you know. Oh, JSB. What? Piper's mad at him since all that ish went down for her sleeping in his parents' driveway for over a month. What? Are you serious? I didn't know that. She stayed in his driveway or in the parents' driveway. For me to watch because they tortured that boy. Oh. So, what, she didn't have a place to stay and she was staying in So, I thought that Andy was living in had moved to Church Hill or something. What changed with that? Why is he staying in his parents' driveway too? What's interesting is that Jody Sue and Andy both are staying in campers on their parents' driveway, allegedly. I'm just wondering. I thought that. I don't know. Confused. I thought he moved to a different area. Where did she sleep, Diana? In a vehicle or what? Hope they never get out of prison, right? Okay. Piper was mad when Sassy, Gavel, and Chasing went there. Andy feels safer there, so Jody can't rip off the trailer door, kick it. Oh, in her car. You thought he was in a different state? Oh, no. He's definitely not in a different state. No. Yeah, he's definitely in the area, if you know what I mean. Not Church Hill, so I don't know. I think there's a reason Andy and Jody Sue both continue to maintain temporary housing that I can't quite figure out what it is. I mean, it is cheaper to not have to pay lot rent, I guess. I'm curious if him and his wife are still together there. I'm guessing they are, but
or anything. It was just a normal couple days before Cypher Dobbs thing.
Yeah, just the tree cutters. That was about the only difference that what they usually was.
And Dobbs.
So what you have tonight is Scott bringing up my name, my children, to Monster, and bringing up Fred at the same time, and trying to lead Monster into helping target our fucking kid with the Fred shit. And you've got Monster over here who has no idea what the fuck and where the fuck and how the fuck anything's happened.
What? See, we just watched her saying that she knows that Andy knows something. She's saying, guarantee it, knows for a fact that Andy knows something. But now wants to act like, oh, he doesn't have it. Which one is it? Well, now I know you want to say he doesn't have anything to do with it. It's been a while since you really outright involved him in her disappearance. From what I don't know. I don't watch her. From what I've heard, anyways.
Doesn't even know what the fuck time he got in it. Not correct. How many days he searched? Nothing. Because he wasn't. I just can't let him dig his own hole. But clearly, answering shit that Scott, knowing Monster can't be speaking about us or my children, it's already been a goddamn terrifying day for my daughter. Over here mentioning my son and daughter, and then Fred and this here, trying to basically lead Monster into the targeting of our son further. Shit. It's funny. It's real funny. Real funny. Yeah.
Right.
Notice they mentioned
yeah.
Fred right before they start mentioning my son and my daughter to him, and clearly mentioning me by name, and asking if my kids were ever over there where they were. So Scott's trying to get Andy to target my son and my daughter. Asking where they were. And Andy's.
On the 15th, did you go to work that day?
On the 15th?
You notice how he freaking repeats everything to give himself more time? I don't
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to tell exactly where you worked at, but what city did you work in?
Kingsport.
Okay. So you had a little bit of a drive, but not too far to get to work. What time do you usually head out in the morning?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I've got messages on that I had somebody send me that had them, and I was on my way at 8:05 or something like that, on my way to work, running late.
Okay. So you was running late, but it was still, fairly early, 8:05. So that would have, getting to Kingsport, that you'd probably got at work, 8:30?
takes about 25, 28, 32 minutes, depending on traffic and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. Did you leave any time from work that day, lunch or anything?
Don't believe so. Pretty much, once you was there, you stuck there.
I don't think so. Pretty much once you're there, you're stuck there. Okay.
It never slowed down. One of the busiest places in Kingsport.
Okay.
You
What
don't get
about
lunch?
quitting time? Do you have a regular quitting time, or was it just depending on when you got done with the job, or did you quit at 5 o'clock and go home and then pick up the next morning, or did you have to stay and finish the job out?
Stay and finish out what we had in the base already. Okay. So I think we got out. I'm pretty sure I left there somewhere around 5:45, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I'd have been getting off about, I think I messaged her or something like that at 6:05, something like that. But it takes, depending on what I had to do and come home, I'm pretty sure I was there about 6:20 something, 6:30 or something that evening.
Yeah. Did you come straight home, or stop by the beer store or Taco Bell or anything, or did you just come on in like a regular day?
That day, I'm pretty sure I came on in because I hadn't heard from anybody, so I just went on in.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I'd like to ask a question real quick about the tree trimmers. Did any of them drive their own vehicles that day? Do you know?
I can't remember, honestly.
Okay. That's been one of the questions we've all wondered, if any of them drove their
Scott asked if they had drove any of their personal vehicles.
I stepped in.
I told him that sometimes they did, I think. Sometimes they didn't. I know I'd seen some strange vehicles in there that didn't belong, but I figured it was probably them.
Yeah, I know I ran
my shit again. Not an accident. Not on holiday.
You say he hasn't heard from anyone. I thought he was. Yeah, pick her up at the end of the driveway, right? Why would he say here? Oh, let's see. Well,
So you're gonna make another call tonight?
But I figured it was probably them.
Yeah, I know I ran
my shit again. Not an accident. Not on holiday.
oh, thank you. Who is it that sent that? I don't want to say. Do you go by the same name in chat? They sent a PayPal and said, "Get a little snack or something, love, please. Oh, please keep me anonymous as well. Hugs." Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad I didn't say their name. Thank you so much. So it's coming out weird. Since Jody Sue was evicted 125 on September 6th, I've often wondered if that's why she went to WJHL to start the ball rolling. So that's when she was evicted, September 1st. So is that's when she moved out, was around the 1st of September? Because I'm trying to remember. Because I know, yeah, he just took off and never came back. And Andy never came back again after the day Summer went missing. Like, he was never came back again. By Polly on the 6th. Oh, yay. Thank you, Holly. Gifted 5 Ziggy memberships.
So, whatever. Whatever, right? So you're going to make another call tonight, but it won't matter after what goes in tomorrow. And what we were told will be done. So, or today, rather. And it doesn't matter. So, whatever. Whatever, right? So you're going to make another call tonight, but it won't matter after what goes in tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Hey, Katie.
Or today, rather.
When you, so you would have got in probably
Yay.
6:15,
Juniverse.
6:30, something like that.
Somewhere
Lydia.
probably between that. Seems like I remember the
Lydia,
time
reading
being like
chat.
6:20 something. I don't know why, but it seems
Yeah,
like I
thank
remember.
you, Holly, so much. Thank you.
It being like 6:20 something, 6:30 something. I got there that evening, and then I rolled into the 15th. So.
Okay. So that was June 15th. That's almost the longest day of the year. So it stays dark to like stays daylight to like 9:15, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like you know, right? It sounds like you know that. So okay.
Right. Well, you know, it stays light for a long time in the summertime.
Yeah, it stays. Yeah.
Okay. So when you're rolling in there,
9:30 almost.
right? You're rolling in there at 6:30, let's say. So it's still broad daylight.
That Fred said that he saw you there. What does that say?
It would have honestly had to be the day before. Honestly.
Well,
I mean, it had to be the day before or a day or two after or something.
Well, it seems like
I don't know. I don't understand what his MO is. So I don't.
His MO.
Me and him had words a day or two before that or a day or two after that because I was sitting in the road swapping vehicles because the Kia wouldn't go up the hill. And he come in, about took the door off the Kia, and I told him he needed to slow the hell down.
and that's what he was saying. That's what he was explaining. Like,
I'm pretty sure I was off for like a day or two.
Okay. I want to know what, too bad Fred's not here listening. But I'm wanting to know about if that incident even happened that he's talking about. And I find it interesting. It had to have been a couple days later or just the day before. Okay. What his MO is. What do you mean what his MO is? I'm the one that had to go. I was the one that hunted him down to interview him. And then after that first interview, I didn't talk to him again until the next 6 months later. So, what do you mean his MO? He's just saying he saw you on the road. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he has a problem with you, doesn't like you, or anything. He's just saying he saw you on the road. You're the one that's saying you were on the road. What? I don't understand. You're villainizing Fred because he saw you on the road and acting like, oh, he must have something against you. If he had something against you, he would have put that shit out like when I was way to put the stuff out. Hey, Tabitha. He always vilified Fred. He doesn't understand his MO. Okay. Well, why couldn't he just say, oh, we'll talk it? Most people would be like, well, it had to have been a different day or something. Okay, so that's not him villainizing you or I mean, I'm sorry, that's not him accusing you of anything or him having some type of motive by him saying he saw you on the road. You just even said, oh, it must have been so you're confirming that he's not lying, that he did see you in the road. The incident you're talking about, if that even happened, you're talking about like it had to have happened near your house. That's not the incident, and you know it. All about meth would understand why Fred would be. I don't think he's in the woods in the middle of the night roaming around. Fred's not in the woods in the middle of the night roaming around. That was freaking Andy and Jody Sue coming out of the woods that day that was the day Roy Fanning got shot. Sorry. Let me go ahead and continue playing this while I'm responding here to something.
After Summer went missing. So,
yeah.
I can't really.
Clearly, it's not it. What the fuck? Because to me, brain cells are burned. Times don't make sense. Nothing else makes sense. Let him dig his own fucking hole. I don't care. Because I don't think he's quite used to YouTube and how this is going to work. I told you all this is work. It's fine. It's fine. But Scott, who he's been working in the background with for months, Piper, Jan, all them, since this order was first put in, he's been talking to and all this shit. Now brought out Monster to do what Monster's supposed to do.
Okay.
Continue to trigger me, abuse me while he jerks off, gets money. You know his whole story.
Oh,
right
that
now, all this shit.
Jody Sue is accusing Fred of the stuff that maybe Fred, I don't want to say yes or no if he would go out in the woods that night or anything. Like, I don't have, maybe he did. I don't think so. I wish I could ask him right now, but he must be sleeping. I talked to him like a little bit before my live. There he is. Hey Fred, did you ever go in the woods in the middle at night, like roaming the woods in the middle of the night, like Jody Sue tried to say, like you were just this weirdo roaming around at night? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. You could just message me. Maybe you shouldn't put stuff in the chat. You wasn't in the woods. You didn't ever do stuff. Not on the day Summer went missing, but we're not talking about on the 15th. Just in general, would you ever go out there at night? I mean, I know you rode horses. You would ride horses at night sometimes. Back when you had them out there. She's actually talking about herself and Andy, probably. I was too busy running drugs. Okay, so you didn't. We were just watching Andy to say, what was the else I wanted to ask Fred? I'm trying to freaking remember. My stomach is growling like always. Crapping in a bucket must give you can't remember shit syndrome. No, I'm glad it's true. You know, that's what we're asking for is just the truth. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, people don't care about, oh, thank you. Somebody else sent a cash app, but they want to be anonymous. And thank you so much. Frank is gone. Oh, Frank was in the chat. Yeah, he likes to. Oh, gosh. Okay. I gotta pee. Let me play this.
Now brought out Monster. To do what Monster is supposed to do, right? Continue to trigger me, abuse me while he jerks off, gets money. And you know his whole story right now is he needs money for a camper because his parents evicted him from my properties, right? That's his parents he's at. It was his parents he was fucking at earlier in the yard. But yeah, sure.
You get home, it's daylight, law comes in behind you. What did you see when you pulled in? Was there people around? I mean, I'm just going to say this because this person puts themselves at the place. From our understanding, the boys, the Wells boys, not yours, the Wells boys, Jody Sue, Candace, was around there hollering for Summer and searching. Did you notice that kind of activity when you came in? Like, yeah. I mean, did you notice?
Yeah, I've seen the boys when I came in and stuff.
You what?
I seen the boys and stuff when I came in, and people out looking and hollering and stuff like that. That's when I was informed of Summer being missing.
That's when you found out Summer was gone. When you got home from work that day.
Yeah.
Okay. And the law piles in right in behind you sometime. I'm sure when you got home and seen everybody searching, you probably wasn't paying attention to your watch after that. What did you do?
Now, what was that? I was reading a comment.
Oh, okay. Like you come in and the law comes in shortly after you come in, you find out that your neighbor's little girl's missing. Everybody's searching around. You're probably not paying a whole lot of attention to what time it is. But what did you do when you seen all that ruckus going on?
Took my car and parked it and started looking.
Did you see Dawn? Did you see Candace?
I think I seen Candace. I think Dawn pulled in pretty much right after me. So, I mean, I just don't remember stuff like that all the time. I do not.
Right. Do you remember, like, how long did you all, like, when the law come in behind you, did you all stop searching, or did you keep searching until all the search and rescue teams got there?
I was still looking around up at my house. And I think I made a loop up around the Wellses and back over to the back side. I've lived down there my whole life. So, I mean, when I was a kid, I wandered around everywhere down there.
Okay. Good to know that. I don't know why you added that in. Andy said he heard my son's dad died. Is that true? Why was, with all the texting they did between one another, JDC did not inform Andy and Summer was missing? Also, if you look at those texts, between the hours of 2:30 to about, what was it, 5:30? 2:30 to 5:30, no communication between them two. When they were in like constant pretty constant communication throughout the day that day, according to the text that Jody Sue put out. And then there's just this big gap between 2:30 and 5:30. Dawn was there when... I know, right, Veronica? I would think so too. That's what the cops thought that as well. Like, they couldn't understand, according to Fred, they couldn't understand how Andy didn't remember what he was driving that day, or if he was on that road. So Dawn was there when the first two officers arrived, so that means Andy had to have been there as well. Oh, thank you. Tessie, that's what I wanted to ask. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. So Fred, so Andy said something that there was an incident like a few days after. Somehow he remembers this was a few days after Summer went missing. He remembers the time of that, I guess. There was some kind of, he said there was an incident between you guys where he was working on a Kia or had his door open or something, and he yelled at you because you were to slow down because you were going too fast on the road or something. Did that really happen? Because he's trying to act like that. Oh, maybe that's the incident that you were talking about. Basically confusing for seeing him. So I'm just wondering if is that a real situation, or no, he's full of crap. So there was nothing like that. Now, it's true, Andy hit you one time when you were driving a motorcycle. Now that's true, right? I mean, long time ago, but this is nothing to do with Summer Wells, but he's the one that hit you years ago. So didn't he hit you on a motorcycle, or is that no, not at all? Is that the answer to the motorcycle thing? I thought I remember something like he hit you when, like, you guys were like much younger. Not on purpose or anything. That he was the one driving recklessly or something. So Fred said that incident didn't even happen, where unless maybe Andy hit me on a motorcycle like when he was about 15. Oh, he wasn't supposed to be driving. That's right. That's right. Her husband's that Jeremy Pell guy. Wait, who? Let me scroll back and see what you said. Whose husband? Trying to remember. I need to go restart the dryer. So he hit you on a, what injuries did you get off that? You were the one on the motorcycle, right? He was in his grandfather's truck. Oh. So, yeah, he was a kid, but still just interesting little fact. So, could they... You were the one on a motorcycle. Hey, November Rain. Exactly, Terry T. I agree. Absolutely agree. PG has been absolutely just a nuisance to the case because she doesn't care what she puts out there and doesn't correct shit, and she makes up shit. So, on purpose. So, of course, she's not going to go correct it. I've never heard her like apologize. I've never heard any of these people apologize ever for. Well, that's not true. I heard cracking cases have, but nobody else. For the most part, nobody else has truly apologized for putting out something wrong and corrected it. You're gonna ask Fred about doing drugs in Woods when he got busted for making meth. And no, he didn't get busted. He's never made meth in his life, Shorty. It's like Fred setting you up for the deer when though it was summer. Like, seriously, what? He's literally the one that just said he was too busy selling drugs. What are you talking about? What does that even mean? I don't even understand that person's comment. Right here, he said he was too busy running drugs. So what the hell are you talking about, Shorty? He's not trying to hide anything. Are you saying he's hiding? Gonna not admit that he was into selling drugs? What does that even mean? You're going to ask Fred about doing drugs in the woods when he got busted for making... No, he did not get busted for making meth. He did not. That's like Fred setting you up for the deer bone though it was... No, nobody said it was Summer, Shorty. Nobody said those were Summer's bones. And that was not a setup. That was real. Why are these people putting out this misinformation? The deer thing was not a setup. And we don't know what type of bones exactly those were. They came out there and picked them out. The deer thing is what you're making up. We don't know for a fact what all the bones were. So how do you know when we don't even fucking know for a fact? I mean, Fred was there and actually saw them collect it. I'm the one that called it and put out the call. I'm the one that called police and put out the call. Even told Fred that I was going to be calling law enforcement, and it's on the interview. So, nice try. No, it wasn't a setup, period. And I wish that, but no, she knows better. This person knows better. They're just saying it because they want to put out misinformation, you know? And hey, Luminous. Yeah, these people leave disinformation that keeps being put in. I'm like, that took me like a million times to understand what the freak that person was even saying. See, they just make up shit and just... Okay. And you guys know who the person was that said that Fred set me up and it was deer bones. You know the person to say that, though, right? Jody Sue. It was Jody Sue who did that. And then your dumbass is believing Jody Sue, Shorty. When we're sitting here and watching for 2 hours, absolute bullshit lies that she said and completely contradicted herself several times. Still waiting on something like that for Fred. I'm still waiting. And every single inconsistency or what they say lie has been addressed. I've never heard any type of anything on absolute proof on Fred lying. Ever. Miss Jody, I watched her live that night when she said it. Yeah. Yeah, country girl. And I don't know. I said animal bones. And I thought maybe deer bones because I thought maybe part of them was, for sure, part of them were animal bones. From, I could tell by looking at, by the mandible. But there were crushed bones. They were all crushed everywhere. It was like a bunch of crushed bones. And the only thing you can make really sense of was like the mandible. You could see the teeth. So that was a big clue to see what that was. I mean, you could tell that was the animal. But think about it. If you're one of these people who is trying to hide a body, I mean, I think it would be pretty smart to smash up human bones along animal bones to make it look like, oh, that's just an animal. And this was all, they were burned too. So obviously, yes, we're going to call it in. You're mad because I called it in? Okay. Yeah, I never said it was Summer Wells' bones. That's ridiculous. It's better to be safe than sorry. And they're not going to tell. Fred was under the impression that some of them must have been something because he saw them collect. There was somebody on the phone telling him which bones to collect, telling the person who was collecting them. And you could hear him saying, which ones to discard. And they were just throwing them off to the side. And then they were picking out certain ones to keep to test. They had an expert on the phone while they were doing that. What kind of truck was Andy in when he allegedly hit Fred? I don't know, Fred. I can message him and ask him. Oh, thank you. Another anonymous donation. It says, thank you for coming back to your true crime channel. I really enjoy your content. Don't leave. Oh, thank you. And they said anonymous right in front of that. So yeah, if you guys don't want me to mention your name, just like this person did, they put anonymous as the first word so that I would see that and not accidentally say their name. I try to read their description first before saying anything. At least Siggy found bones and not poo. Well, I'll ask Fred that question about if he remembered what Andy was driving. I'm sure he'll remember and won't be like, oh.
Whatever. This shit in the background. Since last call with him. And they fucked around with flirting with the one, whatever, but like he always does. But forget about him. Let it go.
Everything like that. Ain't nobody ever messed with us. And it's been girls, boys, 5 to, well, now. So.
Right.
As soon as they're big enough to walk, they're out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody down there.
So everybody was kind of. I'm trying to figure out when did the point of.
I agree, Terry, too. And I'm trying to.
People thinking that she had been abducted. When did that come up?
Pretty much later on.
Hold on, let me rewind.
Pretty much later on that evening when nobody had found her, nobody had seen her, and that's kind of like, well, what the hell's went on? So, I mean, I wasn't thinking that, somebody had snatched her up. I figured maybe maybe she had wandered off into the woods playing, or the boys had, they had wandered off playing or something, maybe left her behind and she got lost, or,
Right.
I mean, that is what you would think. That would be where your mind would go first.
Well, I mean, shit, how many times have y'all been playing with your cousins out running around in the field or something and just duck behind a tree and just let them spoil for a minute, Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they've left us. Where'd they go?
The way from going by the news, it sounds like they got stuff down there pretty quick, like the TBI and the FBI and the helicopters and drones.
Oh, yeah. Everybody showed up pretty quick. It was a pretty good, being that far out in the middle of pretty much nowhere. It's like 45 minutes from Roswell to, 125, 110, all that. Unless they come through the gap from like Churchill, and then it's still about 30 minutes. So.
Right.
Thank you for being a member for 12 months, Luminous, and hitting the like. I'm glad you're here. It's been a pretty interesting live so far. Saying that she went to the creek to see if Summer was still there. I've stopped coming into chats because of the bullshit, but Z keeping it real, so decided to join chat today. Well, thank you, Terry T. Hey, Scott H. I'm happy that you were able to ask these questions to Andy. It's funny to watch him sit there and repeat every question you ask to buy him more time and then say, I don't know. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. I put that right by the mic. Dang it.
My daughter's fucking terrified today. It's night. First few minutes, Scott, make sure to mention mine and the children and by name and shit, and then try to pull Fred shit. That way, they can target my son's. It's lovely.
Aww.
It's real lovely.
No, let me see.
Hold on. I can't explain this in Holland. You can get in. I don't even know if my mom come down there and try it or not.
I have to unlock my.
I think I left my wallet down there one day or left it in the house. They about didn't let me back in. I had mail sent address.
So they were keeping.
It was locked down.
They were keeping things pretty tight then when you get in there. Are you able to turn down Ben Hill Road, or is Beach Creek?
Seems like I got stopped at the end of the road that day by somebody. I don't know if it was. I can't really remember who it is. But somebody was out there at the end of the road, and they was out looking around and stuff like that. So I can't really remember who the first person I ran into was.
Was the law down there yet?
I'm pretty sure they showed up right after me.
At that time, as far as you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Candace. I haven't used, she sent my Facebook pay. Venmo is kind of weird sometimes. Well, I have it connected to my Venmo. I don't know why I clicked accept. Anyways, I was standing here laughing about how Tiffany Marie used to get pissed off if you called Andy Bernard AB in her chat. Oh, it would confuse me too. I mean, I would always be like, wait, who are they talking about? And thank you so much, Candace Hardwick, by the way, Candace Hardwick, for the donation. I really appreciate that.
Your boy and daughter come down? Was they helping to search too?
I don't think I seen them till I got toward the house. I think she told them to stay there. I can't remember.
Okay. So at that point in time, you all was thinking that she was lost. Everybody.
I really honestly didn't know, because years and years that I've lived down there, and years and years and years that I've run those roads and that holler and back through them cuts of my cousin's houses, everything like that. Ain't nobody ever messed with us.
Where you wouldn't have been seen in the holler?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't stay in the holler because that's where she was at. I didn't stay in the holler. I never returned to the holler after I think I might have been kind of really don't talk to Chris. He's family, but it's not pretty much a pretty good job, but I don't know. It's not my job to say.
Did they come up and search your land?
Yeah, pretty much. I was across that thing for about 5 days, every day for 5 days. I know for the first 3 days they was through there. I mean, it was just like a grid search.
So they covered, like, if you're coming up.
Nobody ever told them they couldn't search their property.
Okay.
So he's saying he never. So basically, I want to know, did he ever go back to Ben Hill Road after the 17th? Did he ever go back to stay on Ben Hill Road ever again after June 5th or June 17th? Because that's basically what he's saying, is he never returned there again. So not only did he stopped working at Hayworth on the last day on the 15th, the day Summer went missing. He didn't go back to work there ever, or at least not for several weeks. And then he doesn't ever go back to Ben Hill Road again? I had a hard time believing Andy and Jody Sue didn't talk to Don and Candace about the events of the 15th. Andy acts like he didn't talk to him at all. Standing here laughing about it. Yep. Has anyone seen if the remains found was? Yeah, I hear that. At least this is what I've been told. There's been a few people coming in that said that. Oh. Wait, I think this is this? I think this is I don't. Who is it that just sent the Cash App? Put Diet Coke and cinnamon bears on me. I think that's. Hold on. I think that's I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to say your real name. I think you go. Let me. Amos, right? I think it was Amos. Thank you so much, Amos. Really appreciate that. I am going to go get yeah, I knew. I was like, okay, I just was afraid to say your real name. I was like, I thought that was you. I was like, I know that's her, but I was afraid, like, there's another one that comes under that has a similar profile picture as yours that cash out sometimes, and her name is the same first name as yours, and she actually goes by her real name. So I was like, oh crap, and I knew that was you, but what the heck? Sorry, I was looking at email.
You get up the next day. You said you took a couple of days off. What'd you do that next day when you got up? What was the atmosphere on Ben Hill Road like?
Pretty gloom. Everybody's still kind of looking around, just seeing. So, I mean,
didn't notice anything odd or anything?
No, not really, because they want nobody in and out for like 5 days. If you didn't have an address in there, you went in and out. Now, I'm pretty sure that 3 people was in and out for the next few days, but other than that, I don't.
Fred says he does say that you took like 3 days off. And you and Jody Sue sat down at the bottom of your all's driveway and was just, I guess watching and just, paying attention to the searchers. Probably the same thing I would do. But then Fred says you took up and left and was gone for like 3 weeks. Is there any...
No, wait, hold up. Okay, she got gone on June 15th, and he says a few days after that, I was gone for a few weeks and came back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really remember taking and running off about that time. That could have been about the time that I was trying to leave.
Okay. Did you go somewhere and stay somewhere else for a while where you wouldn't have been seen in the holler?
Yeah, I mean, I went staying in the holler because that's where she was at. I didn't stay in the holler. I never returned to the holler after I left. And when I left, I didn't go back till after like. September the 6th when the order of protection was granted.
Do you remember what day it was you left?
No, not.
Oh shit! Thank you. There was no sound. I was responding to Blue Jeans. Is that just on this channel that you're getting that? That you're getting that every like that it's happening every 3 minutes? You think? I was trying to talk earlier though, and I was muted. I was talking and asking baked chicken, green beans, potatoes with butter and cheese. Yum. Yeah, this is what I was responding to. Is that just in here? Anyways, let's keep going. I don't want people getting ads every 3 minutes.
either a few weeks before Summer
Supposed to be
got
every
gone,
12.
or I can't remember if I left after that. I can't explain. There's bits and pieces blocked out that I can't explain.
Right.
I mean, I was trying to leave for a while there, so I might have been gone. I might not have. You might just not have seen me.
I understand.
Because I really don't talk to Fred. He's family, but it's not that family. I don't know if I've said anything. I'll probably catch backlash. It don't matter, but
It's your story.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to know is what your perspective before Summer went missing, the day she went missing, and a couple of days after she went missing, to see if there was anything that stood out in your mind from anybody that wasn't right. That's where I'm going to come into this.
Was just the stuff the day before with the dog's guy. That's just, I mean, that's the only thing that really happened in there.
Okay. What was your relationship with Dawn and Candace? Was y'all drinking buddies, working buddies? Did you hang out on the weekends and grill out?
No, they called me and harassed me over a couple grams of pot every now and then. That's about it.
So the type of vehicle Andy was driving when he hit Fred, when Andy was a teenager, was actually a little red Toyota. To the person who wanted to know. It was a little red Toyota. Does it make you should be able to skip through them after about 5 seconds on most of them.
But y'all didn't have hang out on the weekends or after work or whatever?
No. He actually offered me a dog at one point in time, and I'd heard too much bad stuff about him at that point in time about jobs and working with him, how he paid people. And
see, it's not weird how why does he answer? Wait, hold on. That was his answer to Scott's question about if they were buddies. Hold on.
Y'all didn't have hang out on the weekends or after work or whatever?
No. He actually offered me a dog at one point in time, and I'd heard too much bad stuff about him at that point in time.
That's an odd thing to. The old Datsun trucks. I don't know what Datsun trucks are, but Fred said it was made like the old Dyson truck or old Datsun trucks, whatever that means. The one that Andy was driving, but Andy was 15 at the time. I mean, it's. I'll make sure to check on that next time. Blue jeans. I'll make sure to make them further apart so you don't have them that often. I can go try it. I can try to do it now.
Jobs and working with him, how he paid people.
Yeah, I'll just do it on the next one because I probably won't be on here that much longer anyways.
Somebody
please explain to me how he was there the day before with dogs? After, while the searches are going on, he just talked about being part of. And then also said they only went on for 4 or 5 days, dude. They went on for weeks. Weeks.
He doesn't know because he wasn't there. He was gone. He only thought it was a few days because he was only there for a few days of it. Keeping Kentucky on lockdown tomorrow. Wait, what do you mean? Keeping Kentucky on lockdown. What's that mean?
Yeah, they were still having one left there. And he was there for weeks and weeks after Summer vanished. And, oh boy, goes back into his earlier line that he told Colesaw that it was already gone before June, but he actually wasn't. He was there every fucking day.
Talk to me about that. What do you mean you had heard from too many people about him? What do you mean? Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, if you run off and go smoke crack, I don't necessarily want nothing to do with you.
Have you seen that happen?
Oh.
Disappear for a week or a day or.
I thought you meant that people couldn't be on the roads and shit. Like they locked down the whole state like that. The heck? Oh, of course, that's a fake email. Apple support. No, it wasn't Apple support. Everyone talked to Whistle today. She hasn't been here. Roll it back 3 seconds. Okay.
Have you seen that happen?
What? When disappear for a week or a day or a month or 6 months or. Yeah, I mean, it's happened.
Was it a once a year thing, once a month thing, every weekend thing?
Not every weekend, no. I don't know how
He freaking.
often it happened. I wasn't friends with him. I didn't go over there and hang out, so I don't know. I know sporadically she would message and say, "Hey, can you pick this up at the store? Can you get cigarettes? Can you get liquor? Can you get this? Bring it over here." So that
I don't know. Well, there was something like kind of early on that just really turned you off to them in general, like just made you like, yeah, I can't be around these people. But it was with their
them fighting over the chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I didn't know if they it or not.
The two older boys fighting over one bowl of chicken noodle soup with pork. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. Excuse my language.
So that was true then. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pitiful.
Well, I mean, I'm sure everybody has their opinion of me at this point in time, but, I smoke my pot. I try to keep it to myself. That's it. So, I go to work, I get up, I come home. That's it.
Yeah.
They wasn't no parking lot people. They wasn't no dope. They wasn't no cheap. So, I mean, I don't.
I was really surprised.
Yeah, you said you and Fred didn't get along.
I didn't say we didn't get along. I just said it wasn't a relationship that, you know, we hung out or nothing like that. We was family.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
so you got along, you just sit and hang out with each other.
We didn't hang out enough to get along, so it wasn't one of them situations. He was my cousin. I knew him as a kid. We probably hung out as kids. Once I got older, we didn't hang out. So, I mean,
there's a few year difference.
Okay.
Those that are ways people, I guess you could say I'm kind of weird like some people, and it's just one of them things.
I'm sorry every fucking day. But now it's suddenly, he really just caught his own. I mean, like, seriously. Told him he was in there for all those days to search, and it was only 4 or 5 days. So. Right. And
He was only there a few days.
For cousin Fred, but now he suddenly makes it to where he wasn't in there for weeks before. And this is how they're going to set the monster up. Because you know exactly what they're going to do with this. There's so many goddamn inconsistencies with his shit, and he doesn't know anything. He wasn't there, he wasn't present in our lives until X amount of time. Hell, even the messages from him show he couldn't have been there when he said he was in there, or when he got off. His message clearly showed he got off later than that. And now he's saying he was gone for weeks before.
No, he's not saying that.
Weeks after, but somehow he's present for that day. Somehow present for this, somehow present for that, but also simultaneously not in there for weeks prior and weeks after maybe, and he doesn't really remember.
You have any idea of knowing
What's wrong with what, John Bean? Why are you going? Nothing's wrong with anything. Oh my gosh, go away. Nothing's wrong with anything he said. That's true. They weren't friends. What the fuck are you talking about? You just want to argue. Funny that you're here in a freaking... Let's see when this account was made a year ago. But you've never been in here ever. Jody Sue only lies when she talks about Fred, but not when she's talking about Andy B, right? She lies about everything, Dawn Bean. She lies about everything. Nice try, Andy Bernard. And you asked what kind of truck was Andy driving when he allegedly hit Fred. I told you, a red Toyota. Made like old Datsun trucks. Little red Toyota. Jeez. And why are you turning that into something? Like, I wasn't even saying anything bad about Andy about that. I was saying he was a kid. But Andy's the one that tried to act like he was almost hit by Fred. That's the only reason why that came up. I've known about Andy hitting Fred on a motorcycle for a very long time and have never said anything. That's all of them, huh? Yeah, she lies about Andy and Fred. So nice try.
Now what?
Trying to act like I'm just saying, oh, that she lies about things on Fred. No. That's how many times have I said that we can't ever know when to believe Jody Sue because she sprinkles in a little bit of truth in all her lies. This is not just with Fred. She lies about everything to do with the case. She's trying to cause confusion. Yes, I agree that she's lied about Andy. But I know but which parts are we supposed to take as truth and which ones are we not? Same thing with Andy. We've had so many inconsistencies with Andy. Has to be Lisa. You think Dawn Bean's Lisa? I think it's either that or Andy. I knew that they were trying to cause problems from their first comment. It was passive aggressive the whole time, and I knew it. But I don't care about answering questions. We don't have anything to hide. If you're gonna sit here and just like talk shit, every response I make.
Have any way of knowing what Fred thought about Dawn and Candace?
No. I mean, there were a couple of days he stopped and talked to me after all that went on. I was swapping cars or going in or out or something like that. He stopped down there and talked to me a day or two after that, I guess.
Oh, really?
Try to see what was going on.
Yeah, to record you. See, right here, he's even, you guys. Fred doesn't go down there and talk to Andy ever. That was specifically for law enforcement. When are people gonna like wake up?
I don't know. It had been the first time he had stopped and talked to me in I don't know how long. I couldn't put a timeline on it because I don't know when the last time I talked to him at that point.
See? Exactly. Because he was there recording you. That's why, which shouldn't be a big deal, right? That's why he came down there to talk to you in those couple days.
Have a conversation.
That before you left and took off for weeks.
That was Fred. Right. So you didn't notice anything? Nobody had a beef with Dawn and Candace around there that you knew of or anything?
Like I said, I don't know them well enough to know who had beefs with them and who didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'd heard people talk about them and stuff like that, say stuff, but I didn't deal with them enough to be on a friend level. I was a neighbor.
Either answer or not on this one. I'm interested, of course, but there's a lot of people that don't like to talk about. What do you think happened to Summer? Because the law says everything's on the table. Now, everything includes her walking away, getting lost, and y'all just ain't found her yet. That's abduction.
I mean, let me add this in there before you finish up.
Okay.
If she was in there, I'm pretty sure that they would have found her by now.
It's just how I'm going to send this motherfucker off. See Liza, Ellie's standing at place he's telling you all he's evicted from. But he needs money for a camper. Yeah, he's not a liar or anything, right? How was he in there the day before with me leaving to find dogs there? Or how about on videos I posted of him there in the days after, including months after.
Mm-hmm.
Months after Summer vanished. Almost 2 months, I guess. Yeah, almost 2 months after. He was still there, but clearly in the car with us.
That's true. Yes, I just got a.
Clearly in the car with my daughter. On video. Almost 2 months.
What do you think that is, Jody Sue, that he's lying?
I'm like you know.
Why do you think that he's lying? If you're saying he's lying, why do you think that is? So yeah, Elijah View, his remains were found and listed it 2 minutes ago. It says that skeletal remains of a small child had been found at Girl Scout camp Manitou, Two Rivers, that investigators believe are those of Elijah Vu, a 4-year-old boy missing since February. He's such a cutie. Yeah, but guys, I have to get going for now. So I appreciate everybody hanging out and all the support from everybody. I really, really, really appreciate it. BK interview with Andy is gone. I wonder why nobody recorded that. There was something in the last video we watched, like a clip of it, I think. Weren't we watching an interview where Benny was asking Andy questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry that I have to get some things done. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to everybody later.